Hello and welcome back. I'm Andreas Chatt, your tech-curious web designer. In this video, we will add again some Htmx magic to the site. This time, we will create a seamless and smooth integration when we add a comment or a reply to enhance the user experience. So without further ado, let's go. So I give you a quick demonstration what we're going to build in this video. So I add here a comment. I love these rocks. Submit. The comment appeared with a very smooth animation, and I add a reply. These rocks rock. Submit. And again here we have a smooth animation when the reply is submitted. Both of them are added to the site without refreshing the page. Let's see now how we can achieve this. So right now, when we add a comment or reply, we are redirected to the post page. So if you go here and add a comment, test, comment, submit, the page refreshes. So let's change it now that we just stay in place. For that, we use again Htmx as a Ajax method. So let's head over now to the postpage.html. This is the template where we have our comments. So we go here to templates, posts, and here postpage.html. Here we have the form which sends the comments off, and let's change this now to our Htmx call. Make sure you have watched part 13 in this series where we install Htmx and go over the basics. So first we can get rid of the method post here. Then we modify this action attribute here. So it's not more action, but Hx-post. This basically says is a Htmx call and it's the post method. Then we have to add the next attribute, which is Hx-target, which defines the element where the data from the backend should be placed. So equals in quotes. So the element we would like to target here is this tab contents container here. Here we have the loop of all the comments. So let's copy this name. And we add it here with the hash symbol in front, which represents an ID. So like this. Now we have the target. And then we also add the Hx-swap attribute. And here we declare how we would like to add this data to the container. And in this case, I would like to add new comments at the very top. So I can say after begin. So a new comment will be automatically the first element in this container. Before end would be the opposite, for example, so the last element in a list. So let's now clean up this code a little bit so it looks a bit nicer. I move the class and the autocomplete to the first row. So I cut it from here, I add it in here, and move this one down. So now all the Htmx declarations are easily visible. All right, save this file. Now let's look at our Htmx snippet. We are already using here a include, so we can basically just send this snippet back to the front end. So let's go to our views and modify the return statement. So I copy this one here, then to posts, views.py. Now I find the comment send function. There it is. And as we see here, the return statement says redirect to the post page. So let's change this now to have it render out our snippet. So we say render, then in parentheses, request, comma, and then our HTML snippet. So in quotes, we insert here the path to the comment.html file. Alright, now the snippet needs the comment object as well. So we created here the comment object. So we just include it here at the end. So comma, then curly brackets. The tag in our template is comment, colon, comment. Alright, save this file. Let's do a test if this already works. So I refresh the page. We add a comment Htmx working, question mark. And there we go, it worked. It created here a new comment without refreshing the page. Now, as we see here, this text still remains in the input field. Let's fix this one now. So when I make this Htmx call, this input field is resetting. For this, I'm using a JavaScript package called Hyperscript, which allows me to add some JavaScript after Htmx request is done. This is one way to solve this problem without writing custom JavaScript code. If anyone has a different or better solution, please share it in the comments below. I am curious to hear. Alright then, let's add Hyperscript to the page. Let's go to Hyperscript's official website. So let's search for Hyperscript, hyperscript.org. This is the page. Now let's copy the script tag here. So copy. Now here let's go to our base.html file and include the script in the head, so we can include it after the Htmx script here. And save this file. Now let's go back to our post page and here to our comment submit form. So here I'm making a new line and I'm adding here this Hyperscript. So the key symbol for Hyperscript is just an underscore like that. And we write underscore equals, and then you write code which is very close to how you would naturally describe your actions. So for example, on Htmx colon after request. So this means after a Htmx request is done, reset me. Then we call a function here, the reset function, and me refers to this element. So with this line, this input field should reset after we make a Htmx call. Okay, save this page. Let's test it. So I refresh the page. So let's add a comment. Let it reset. And submit. It worked. We created a new comment as the first element in this list here. And it did reset the input field. Great. So now let's enhance this interaction. So first of all, I would like the comments count here to change. Because I added a new comment, the count should increase by 1. And secondly, I would like to have a fade-in animation of this new comment I created. Let's see how we can add those two features in our code. So both of them will be included in our response from the backend. Right now we only sent the comment back, but because we want to send back more data now, it makes sense to create a new snippet for it. So I will go to my snippets folder, I create a new file, and I will call this snippet @comment.html. Alright. So in here I include first my comment, curly brackets, %, include a_posts / comment.html. So this is the code for our comment. And first let's tackle the counts. So I would like the count to update when this Htmx snippet is sent to the front end. So in Htmx, this can be done with a special swap, the out of band swap. or OOB for short. It is actually quite straightforward, and here is a description on their website. So first let's identify the element we would like to update and give it a unique ID. So the count element we would like to update is in our post.html file. So let's head over there. So here already we have the comments, and here we have the comments count. So it is this element we want to update. So now let's give this element a unique ID. So we say ID equals, I give it a name, comments count dash, and then I include here as a variable the post ID. So double curly brackets, post.id. In this way, this element is unique on the page. So save this file. Now I grab this whole element like that, copy it, and paste it in this file just underneath the include, like that. So basically this element is now sent from the backend to the frontend alongside the comment. But we want this element to be placed somewhere else on the page. And for this we add here the OOB attribute. So we write Hx-swap-oob equals true. You can also write here outer HTML, that's the same thing. Okay, save this file. Now let's include this file in the response call. So let's head over to the views.py file. So we change it now to the new snippet we created. Snippets / add underscore comment.html. Alright, and one thing we have to add as well. This template requires the post object. So we have to attach the post object. So we can just add it here. So comma, post, colon, post. And the post value we get from this post element here. Alright, save this file. And let's do a test. So we refresh the page. So it says 5 here because it's a new page load. Let's add a new comment. Count me up, Scotty, and submit. And there it is. We have the count number increased by 1, and the comment is added to the list. Awesome. Now next, let's look into the fade in animation. We head over to our snippet. And I will use here Hyperscript to animate the comment. For this, I wrap the comment into a container, and then I add some animation styles to it. So I will just add here wrapper. I call it fade in. Then I give it a class. So here I say opacity 0 using Tailwind CSS classes. So opacity -0. And now I add the Hyperscript. So underscore equals onload. So it's this time on load of the snippet. I will add a transition. So transition my opacity to 1 over 0.6 seconds. So this is pretty self-explanatory. So on page load, this element wants to be transitioned from opacity 0 to opacity 1 over the period of 0.6 seconds. So what is to be aware of here is that Hyperscript doesn't understand Tailwind CSS classes. So we need to use here standard CSS styles. Alright, we have to close this tag here. And we move the closing tag just after the comment. Like that. Okay, let's check it out. Save this file. We refresh the page. And we add a new comment. Fade me in. And there it is. The new comment faded in and our comments count increased to 7. So we could enhance it now even further. Let's say I would like the comment to slide down first and then fade in. So combine two transitions. So this is also pretty easy to do. Let's go back to our snippet. And here we work with a minus margin to let the comment start above the content and then slide down. So let's add some classes here. So for the minus margin to work, we have to transform this element into a block element. So block. And then we let this element start with a minus top margin of 20. So minus mt dash 20. And I can also add an animation style. So let's add ease dash in dash out. So the animation starts smooth and ends smooth. Alright, and then we update the Hyperscript with onload transition. So first I would like to have the slide down animation. So here we write onload transition my margin dash top to 0 over 0.2 seconds. And then the keyword then transition my opacity to 1 over, let's make the fade in animation a bit faster, 0.4 seconds. Alright. So here we start with a minus top margin of 20 and then we transition into a top margin of 0 here. And then we transition the opacity of 0 to the opacity of 1. Alright, save this file. Let's check it out. Refresh the page. Let's add a comment. Slide me down and fade me in. Okay, submit. As you can see, the new comment pushed first all the content down and then faded in. Let's do another one. Excellent. And submit. Excellent.
Excellent!
Now let's implement the same features to our replies. So we add replies directly in our comments. I click add reply here and this drop down shows me this input field. So let's go to the comment.html file, which we find in the post folder. And here we go to the reply send form, which should be at the bottom. Yes, here it is. And we repeat what we have done for the comment send. So we get rid of the method. We add here hx-post. Then we add hx-target. hx-target equals. So here I would like to have the reply displayed at the end of the container. So in fact, where this form sits. So I choose this form element as the target and then replace this form element with the latest reply and the new reply form. In this way, I don't have to reset the form either. So I write here this, which means this element, and we add hx-swap equals, and here we say outer HTML, which means it will target this whole element, in contrast to inner HTML, which will target just the code inside. Alright, let's clean it up again a little bit. I move this line to the top here. So this should be all here, so save this file. Now let's create a snippet for this reply object. So we copy the code from here and we create a new snippet. We call it add underscore reply.html. So here should be our reply, so we change this to reply.html. We let it slide down and fade in like the comment. Then we include here the form again. So let's get back to the comment and copy this form element. Copy and paste it here again. Like that. So these two elements we will receive now from the backend. The latest reply and the reply form. And the last line here is again to display the count, this time for the replies. So let's change the ID to replies count. And here it would be the comment ID. And here we display the count. So it's coming from the comment.replies.count. All right. And we swap it in with this Hx-swap-oob attribute. Okay, save this file. Let's add this ID now to the reply count element. So we display the reply count up here. Here it is. And we add the ID in here. So ID equals replies count dash and the comment ID. Okay, save this file. Now let's go to our views.py file and change the return statement there. In here, we find reply sent is here. So let's copy this line from the comment sent and paste it in here. So here we're using the @reply snippet. And our snippet requires the comment object. It requires the reply object. So let's change this to reply. And it requires one more object, the reply form. So this object here we have to provide as well. Okay, let's go back. So we cannot take this form here because this is the filled out form coming from the front end. We have to initiate a new reply form. So let's do that here. Reply form equals. Now we can grab this code here, but we delete the request.post value. Okay. So this creates now a new object from the reply create form class. And now we have to send this through to the template. But seeing that this is already rather long here, I create a context variable for it. So I add in here context equals, then I add here the reply object, the comment object, and the reply form object. So copy this one here, in quotes, colon, reply form. And then I add the context variable in here. Context, like that. All right, save this file. In theory, this should all work. Let's test it. Okay, I'll refresh the page. I add the reply to the first comment here. Test reply, submit, and it worked perfectly. And if we refresh the page, we should also see the replies count. So refresh, and there we go, replies 1. Let's test now with another reply. Brilliant, and submit, and the count increased by 1. Nice.
Nice.
Now for good measure, let's test to add a new comment with a new reply. I add a comment. I love these rocks. Submit. And now I add a reply on this comment. But here we're missing the input field. So the reason for this is that the comment snippet we get from the backend also needs this reply form. So let's add it there too. So let's copy the reply form object here, and we paste it also here to the comment send function. Then let's also grab the context variable and paste it in here. Now here we don't need the reply, but we need the post here. Like that. And let's add this context variable to our return statement. Context. All right, save this file. Let's test it again. So I delete this comment here. Yes. And I try it again. I love these rocks. Now I click add reply, and the reply form is now loaded. Great. Let's add the reply. These rocks rock. And submit. Great, it all works now. So at last I will check now if everything still works also when I'm not signed in. So let's sign out. I go to the post page. So first I see here, I would like to hide this input field when I'm not logged in. So let's change that. This is in our post page template. So let's head over there. Post page. Yeah, and this form here, I would like to show only if the user is logged in. So we can add here a condition in curly brackets, %, if user dot is underscore authenticated. If the user is authenticated, show this form. And we close it with and if. Save and let's see. I refresh the page and the input field is gone. Another thing I notice here that we have a lonely arrow here. Let's fix that. So this is in our comment template. Comment. And here I find the arrow symbol is this one here. So it contains the symbol as a SVG path. And also here we add a condition. So on top, let's copy this condition here. If comments.replies.count. So display the symbol when there are replies, or if the user is authenticated. User.is underscore authenticated. So one or the other condition has to be true, then the symbol will be displayed. And then we close the if statement. And if. Okay, save this file. Let's check it out. Refresh the page. And the arrow symbol is gone. Great. Now let's click on the replies link. Also here I would like to hide the input field when I'm not logged in. So this is again in the comment.html file. At the very bottom of this file, here is the reply form. Let's add here the if statement. If user.is authenticated, show this form, and we close it. Save this file, back to the browser, refresh, and the input field is gone. Nice. So this is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope this demonstrated you the possibilities of Htmx in combination with Hyperscript to create modern and user-friendly websites. In the next video, we will add the tabs functionality on this page. So if I click the top comments tab here, it should show me the comments with the most likes. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.